Now it's been about 5 months since I recorded this video in which I unveiled a carefully constructed measuring stick for how to rate the film cameras I review on this channel. And now it took me and my team, my writing team, my research team, my production team, many months to cook that up. And it has equally taken as many months up to now to get this ready for you, in which I'm going to rank the cameras that I've reviewed and hopefully do this at the end of the year as well, just to kind of keep things up to date, where things lie. Now, of course, you can disagree. In fact, I hope you do. I would love to hear some conversation about this in the comments below, so please feel free to do so. But for now, we're just going to dig into the topics, go over those again really quickly, and then we're going to talk about the cameras and where they're going to fall. So of course, at the top we have travel camera, a camera that you can take with you traveling, and it would be the only camera you bring with you, but you wouldn't feel like, gosh, I wish I had another camera. It's going to be reliable, robust, it's going to work in most environments. It is a one-of-one kind of camera. Then we have road trip camera. This is going to be a camera that maybe you want to bring with you on a road trip with other cameras. Good on a photo walk around town. Not something you have to really commit to, like a long, weeks-long travel trip. Something that's still good that you enjoy using. Then we have shelf camera. This is going to look great coming off the bus, but maybe it doesn't perform super well. Maybe there's like some other caveats to its performance that doesn't really make you want to bring it out on the road, bring it out traveling, anything like that. You still shoot with it, it's still fun. And then we finally have trash. Now, trash means a wide variety of things, mainly bad, but also trash can be fun. Big Trouble in Little China is like my favorite movie. Now, some people would say it's trash. I would say they're wrong. I think it's a masterpiece, but still, we can have that discussion. And because we can have that discussion, the trash category exists. So without further ado, let's dive into this. Starting off, we have the Pentax SL. This is an easy one for me. This is a travel camera, no doubt, because of its robust reliability with the Pentax Spotmatic build, but it doesn't fall into the issues that the Spotmatic has with its electronics, the kind of not great metering system, and the battery being not awesome. Then we have the Canon QL17 G3, a recent review. And this for me is a perfect road trip camera, edging on to travel camera. And I'm gonna say road trip camera just to fill these out. And then we have the Pentax Auto 110, another recent review. And this is, I think, a quintessential shelf camera for me. Requirements of 110 film. It does make it a little bit harder to take with you everywhere. It could be a good accompaniment on a road trip if you're shooting with other things, and then you just have this as a little backup situation. I just think the expense is there. I think the lack of availability of film and developing is there, and it does look great on the shelf. It's a fun conversation starter. It's a little bit more gimmicky than I think usable, but it's still quite usable, so I'm gonna put it in shelf. The Minolta X700 is next. I can recognize that it's a pretty good camera. I'm gonna say road trip camera. I wouldn't want this to be the only camera I'd bring with me. We have the Pentax 17, which is next. And I gotta say, upon further reflection, I've taken this traveling, but I never just took this camera alone traveling. There's always another camera I had with me. So for that, I can't put it in travel camera. I will say road trip camera as well. It's a fun camera. I think that there are good use cases for it, but I don't think that it could just be your only film camera. So I don't think it quite reaches the echelon of travel camera. I think road trip camera is a good place for it. And then we have our first of, I think, 3 films that are on here. I just included these because these were things I reviewed. And this is, of course, the red film that I made, which is Harmon Phoenix Flipped. I'm going to put it in trash. There was a few good shots that came out of it. I kind of enjoyed a couple of them, I'm going to be completely honest. But for the most part, it's not usable. It's not something I want to replicate. Namely because I don't need to see what my fingerprints look like in blue. But beyond that, it was fun, but it's trashy kind of fun. Inconsistent, kind of weird. Then we have the Olympus OM4. This is a good camera to some degree. There's obviously issues with it. I will say, the thing is, it doesn't look super great on the shelf, in my opinion. That like champagne gold is not really for me. So I'm going to say road trip camera because I did enjoy the process of using it. I just don't trust them. So a bit of an issue there. Then we have the double feature, which is the Fed 5B and the Argus 100, I think it was. I want to put this in between trash and shelf camera because I think the Fed is a kind of trash camera, but I think the Argus looks amazing on the shelf. So we'll just put it in shelf camera, benefit of the doubt. We have Kodak Gold in 120. That is obviously travel camera worthy. That is the best medium format film that Kodak produces. The quality is not always awesome all the time, but the texture, the color, the affordability, all of that is there, 10 out of 10. We have the Minolta CLE in my night photography video, which I recommend you check out. It was kind of fun to shoot. The images were kind of okay. The camera itself, I was scared about because it wasn't mine. I was borrowing it, kind of. And beyond that, it's expensive, more expensive than I'm used to using. And they do have notable issues with the electronics. So part of me wants to say shelf camera because it does look amazing, but the other part of me wants to say road trip camera because I feel like it's usable, but then other parts of me want to say travel camera because of its compact size and, you know, lightweightness to it, I would say. So I'll put it road trip camera, Fuji Color 100 that I reviewed. Now the thing with the Fuji Color 100 is that it is a beautiful and expensive film, but it does reside in that place of like, if this was the only film I brought with me on a trip, I would be happy with that. So while it isn't like a day-to-day kind of thing, it's a specialty item. Next up we have the Olympus M1, and as this was a camera I just took with me on a weeks-long trip, I think it's pretty safe to say that that's going to go in travel camera as well. It's got everything you need and nothing that you don't. It is streamlined, it's efficient, it's small. It has that really fun, unique quality to it without feeling like it's a rare artifact. It's just a little bit different than the norm without being precious per se. We have the Light Meter Lumo. This one is a little bit challenging to put in because I do find it like very, very usable. I'll put it in road trip camera because I don't think it's a light meter. It doesn't really fit into these categories as well. Just wanted to include it in the list because it's a review that I did and I want to talk about it more. I encourage you to get this light meter if you are interested. Super fun, easy to use. I just don't want to fill up the travel camera because I feel like that kind of desensitizes the whole project here. Speaking of which, we have the Pentax LX, which I made the first of the reviews on, and I argued that this is like the perfect film camera. Now I kind of stand by that. I think this is the pinnacle of Pentax film cameras, but I'm not going to put it in travel camera, I don't think. As much as I love it, as much as I adore using it, I never really see myself only using this. Honestly, I think that for me, it's probably more of like the road trip variety. You know, I always feel like I'm gonna wanna have something else with it. It's gonna go there for the time being. We have the Zorky 10, that's trash. It's a fun brick of a camera, but it is not good. Just straight up, not very good. Looks fun though, can be fun to use, but you know, it's a brick. Then we have the Canon Demi EE17. That's gonna be a shelf camera for me. I would probably take it on a road trip very easily. I don't know if I would actually take it traveling though per se, but like, it's a very good camera for that, but for the most part. I also lended this camera out to somebody like 7 months ago, and every now and again I'll be like, oh, I kind of want to get that back. But it's never like I need it back to shoot with it. It's just kind of like, oh, you know, someone else has it. I can't forget because at some point in the future I'd like to use it again, but I'm not itching for it. Whereas I feel like anything in like the road trip to travel camera, especially travel camera, I would have a hard time parting with that for half a year. We have the Nikon F2. This is where I'm probably going to get some pushback. I didn't really enjoy this camera, and I still don't really enjoy this camera all that much. For me, more of an F3 guy. I feel like the F2 is a travel camera for a lot of people, and I respect that. And I might even put it there just because I can see a world in which it is that. I'll put it in road trip, okay? Right next to the LX, I think it belongs there. I'll put it I'll put it at the front of Road Trip with the LX, where I think it kind of belongs. You know, it's like, it's at that echelon of, I can definitely see how it's a travel camera for some people, but for me it just doesn't quite click. Yashica Matte LM, just no words. Amazing camera. The Contax RTS. I want to put shelf camera here because it is a uniquely designed system. It is very bizarrely large, and the functionality of it is so limited and also not in the same way. It's like, it's a series of contrasts all working in with each other, and it's this beautiful amalgamation of a system that I thoroughly enjoy, but I so rarely take it out to use. I would never want this to be my only camera. I think if I had a different lens for it, I'd feel differently. But the lenses are also expensive, so it's like, I'm not gonna deal with that. It looks great on a shelf though. I could take it on a road trip probably, and I probably wouldn't be too upset if I had to travel with it. It just like, I don't grab for it when I'm thinking about like, what am I gonna bring with me? It's so big, but it's a lot of fun. So shelf camera, very usable, very good. I'll put it at the top of shelf camera. The Pentax ME, I think, is a quintessential road trip camera. I'm gonna put it above the X700. Compact, small, easy to use, incredibly affordable. You don't have to think twice really about using it. It is a point and shoot as much as an SLR can be a point and shoot. Not gonna get all of the options you would get with an ME Super, so I feel like that kind of takes it below travel camera, but still very accessible, usable. The Kex KF01 Flash, I'm gonna say, is a shelf situation there. Looks great coming off the bus. The battery door functionality is a little bit limited. The flash recharge rate's pretty slow. It's pretty big and expensive. I did get it for free, so I feel like that kind of tainted a bit of my review there, but yeah, it's there. The Bronco BS1, you were thinking travel camera, for sure. You're thinking I'm gonna be biased about this, I'm gonna put my own camera at the top, right? I gotta be honest with you, I gotta, you know, show you how the sausage is made here. These decisions aren't like fully up to me. I do have a team behind this channel, and they're helping me out with stuff like this. And they said, when you launch the Bronco BS2, you wanna do so to an audience that will respect you. And if you only rate your stuff as super high, then, you know, you can't go any higher than that, right? So I have to start a foundation and then build from that, right? The BS1 cannot be the peak of the Bronco brand. We have to be able to grow from that point. And if you're at the top of Mount Everest already, although I'd argue that the Bronco BS1 is there, it is the pinnacle of film photography experiences. But if you're there, like, where else can you go? The moon? Maybe, but it's gonna take some time. So I'm gonna say, we'll start this off in the shelf camera. I think it's a really handsome camera. I think, you know what, I'll put it right behind the Contax in shelf camera. There are some limitations to its usability, but with the unique designs to it, it's just, you know, you don't really get that anywhere else. So credit where credit's due on my part, but it's going there. And then we have, of course, the Olympus Pen EE. Hesitant to put it in trash because I do think it looks pretty good, but I'll put it at the end of shelf camera. I was able to use it. I did have a good time with it. It's not a very well-constructed system. It's very simplistic, it's very basic, but it was fun to use. I do think it would look fine on a shelf. The shutter is a liability, so we'll put it there for the time being. And this is it. This is the list. These are all the reviews I've done thus far about film cameras, film, other accessories and stuff like that. And I think I feel pretty good about this. We'll revisit this towards the end of the year, so stay tuned in for that. But for now, this is where we're at. Please leave a comment down below what you thought of the reviews as well. Did you like them? Did you hate them? Which ones do you want to see next? Would you change anything about the orders here? And like I said, I'll revisit this at the end of the year, and maybe I'll take some of those comments into consideration. So thank you all for watching. Appreciate it as always. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you on the next one.